Hello everyone, how are you all?
We're very well, thank you.
And how are you absorbing all the love and appreciation breathe into the shadows has been receiving?
We're loving it. My question to you is, have you just stuck my photograph behind you? Because it's not looking like it's in line. So वैसे लग रहा है कि आपने अभी चिपका डाला है.
No, you are there. Amit is there. I have three Amits and I'm missing him right now.
Yes, so are we, but unfortunately Amit is a bit under the weather.
Yeah, he told me. He told me. So, I'll begin with Mayank. Let me tell you, Mayank, I've been waiting for Breathe and I've been waiting to know See Sola Ka Raaz, which I know and I'll keep it to myself until the world watches it. But I want to understand what made you work on it. What made you, co-write Breathe?
To start with, it's the characters, which I really found intriguing when we all were writing it, and the plot line and the complexity of, the subject, the whole, of these two seasons as together, if I would, like to say. Uh, and after that, it's the appreciation and the love which we got from the audiences, about the engaging narrative, about the characters of Avinash, Jay, Abha, Shirley, and now bringing in the new entrant, which is Victor, played by Naveen. So very, very excited and thrilled, and thank you for keeping the suspense around C16 still alive. Yeah.
Yes. I also want to understand, when you have a successful franchisee, there's an added pressure. People are expecting more. Was that there in your mind while, writing season two and directing it?
No, it's not pressure. Look, it's bound to happen. That's what we all thrive for. That next time whatever we come out with, it needs to be. We need to up the ante. We need to up the whole experience for the audiences. Uh, so it's inspiring, I would say. Rather than pressure, it's really, really inspiring. To read each and every comment, and it feels good because on this medium, I always say, this is such an immersive experience, and audiences notice every small detail, which and they surprise you by giving their feedbacks on those aspects, which so when you read these comments, it really inspires you to work harder, and really up your game. So I would say inspiring it is.
As you all know, I loved it. So yes. Abhishek, I'll come to you. Tell me something that you're playing two characters and both are different. How was it switching between the two? And as a layman, if you can explain, how was the shoot like? Did you do Avinash's part first and then, shot for Jay's, or was it a mix? How was it? It looks intense.
Oh, thank you. The shooting schedules are such that we don't normally have the liberty and comfort to do that. Also, in the show, a lot of the times Jay comes awake in the middle of Avinash's scene, so that's something we have to just do on the spot. And but it's fine. That's the demand of the work that you're doing, and if you're prepared, which I hope Mayank and I were, you're okay with it.
As I asked Mayank, it's the second season for you as well. I want to understand because you have given your best. You have added all the layers you could possibly in season one. How difficult or maybe easy was it for you to, do it even in a better way, like playing Jay and Avinash in season two?
I think that you have to depend a lot on Mayank and his writers. That's something which Mayank was very cognizant of and spent a lot of time in his writing. That how can we improve upon what we've already done and achieved, and how do you take it to, so to speak, the next level? So I'd like to believe that comes with him upping the ante on the intensity of the screenplay. And you have to give them and start blurring the lines possibly between Avinash and Jay. So I think that's where you try and evolve the characters a bit more and try and bring in a certain amount of newness so that the audience doesn't just get bored of seeing the same old thing.
True. Naveen, for me, you stole the show. whenever you were on screen, you were just amazing. Also because I have seen you doing, different kind of playing different kind of characters. How was it for you to play Victor? How intense was it?
It was quite cool, yeah. Actually, it was, while playing it, I never, like off camera, I never felt intense, like off camera. But I was, I was actually full time quite excited and, thrilled to play Victor. And the reason I was not very intense off camera, because I was, in a way dependent on Mayank. And Mayank seemed very clear and cool about the character. Like he had a very clear idea about how Victor should be. And honestly, even on paper, I found the character very exciting. He goes through so many, like you see so many different shades of this guy. And when you have that on paper, you just have to go on set and play those moments honestly, and everything else then takes care of it on its own. So it was like that. I didn't really um, I didn't really, honestly, I didn't really do a lot of homework for the part. It was all there on paper, and Mayank was always there on set to guide me, and like, because there were times when I would try and do weird things also, just to see if Victor can do all this. And sometimes they were like accepted, and sometimes they were rejected. So it was like that. We were playing with the part, because उसका कुछ ऐसा कोई कुछ दायरा तो था नहीं, because we had not seen the part, and he could have gone in any direction. So we were actually playing with the part, and that's why I think both of us really enjoyed creating it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what even I noticed. I mean, Jane, who's more serious, has a husky voice. On contrary to that, there's Victor, who's all doing weird stuff. So it was a good mix, to see you together.
Yeah.
Sammy, I mean, you have been an integral part of Breathe. We saw you in the last scene of season 1, and you carried the C Sola Ka Raz with you. And I want to understand from you, for my viewers, how do you see Shirley's journey evolving? Like, how, according to how do you think her character has evolved?
The C Sola Ka Raz, actually, I was not carrying. It was in Mayank's head, because we didn't know where it was going. So it was actually all in Mayank's head. He was writing somewhere in some mountain and coming up with where it's going to go. I was just as curious as the viewer was, because I wanted to know where this was heading. But once we started filming, that's when kind of we got to know where it's going. For me, I thought this season, the personal angle and the track with her brother, which we didn't see too much in the previous season, I think just kind of was sweeter this season, because you saw more of the personal side too, Shirley. And of course, I mean, we can't give out stuff for the audiences, because the last episode and stuff, it's almost Jay's payback to his family. And that's how I saw Shirley involved in the final episode as well. So it was just fun coming back to this character, coming back to this world, and I hope people like it enough for it to go even further into a further season.
Abhishek, in one of the interviews, you spoke about how while growing up, you never heard about box office numbers, or maybe, these some crore clubs and all. In that context, I want to understand, do you think OTT platforms are a game changer? There are no numbers involved as of now.
I think we use this phrase, game changer, and so it's not that. It's just, what's really nice is, because there's no sort of number or figure that is published, the discourse around a show, a web series, a film has come back to what it always should have been, which is the content. I think that's very important. With all respect and humility, I think the film industry and the media has obsessed a bit too much about this number and that number and what is the opening day figure. The reason I think that's not the right way to discuss a film is because, first and foremost, we must understand when it comes to movies, their collections, there's so many different parameters, which I don't think everybody understands. There's so many variables. Just getting the highest number possible is not a reflection of whether the product is successful or not. So it's a very difficult business to understand. It's a very complex business. Hence, we can't generalize and just say, oh, this is the opening day, this is the opening week. What is the budget of the film? What are the terms and conditions that the producer has sold it to the distributor? What are the terms and conditions that the distributor has further sold it to the exhibitor? What is the ticket price that the exhibitor has set for the audience to purchase? There are too many variables that decipher whether a film eventually is a hit or not. Another point which I think we do unfairly is, there's this practice in the media to judge a film's success based on its India net collection in theaters. Our movies release worldwide. There are other streams of revenue apart from ticket sales. There's satellite, there's digital, there's airway rights, there's terrestrial rights. So there are several times when a film theatrically has made X, but in totality, its collection is X plus 10. But we never discuss that. So that's why I'm saying there are too many variables and it's too complex a topic to discuss so generally. That's why it's so nice that on OTT platforms, that discussion does not exist. And the discussion is still on the content, which is what it should be. Growing up, we discussed whether we liked the film, what we didn't like about the film, the story and the performances. There was no discussion of collections. That's not my business. My business is, as an audience, is have I liked the film or not? You never question how much you bought. What is the revenue of Hindustan Unilever per annum to know whether their products are good or not? Anything that we purchase in the market, we don't discuss the price of it as opposed to whether the quality of the product is good or not.
I
Sure.
agree. I agree. Also, Abhishek, you have mentioned that Breathe has been emotionally demanding for you. I just want to understand, what did you mean?
Just that.
Okay. How was it emotionally demanding? I mean, what were the scenes that, probably drained you, or,
It's a very, very difficult character.
It
I
is.
mean, there are several layers of complexity to the character, so it's very demanding. And Mayank is, contrary to his external demeanor, he's very, very precise and demanding as a director. He's not just going to accept anything. He's very particular about what he wants, and he's very sure about what he wants, which is exactly how you want your director to be.
True.
You want your director to push you, because sometimes as actors you feel you've done something, but the director feels he can get something more out of you. So yes, it was very, very emotionally draining.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was lovely talking to you, and thank you, Abhishek, for
Thank you.
doing it.
Oh, thank you.
You told them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.